also recording it, but better to record from your side also. Okay. So whatever things that I have recorded, I'm going to share. Actually, I thought of sharing today, but I couldn't make it. Yeah, tomorrow end of the day, I'll share all the recordings. Okay. So here, so far we have discussed about what is identifier, how to identify all the class members or Java members, and then what are the reserved keywords that are being used in a Java. And the last one is the data types or literals. What are the data types that we are going to use, and how, what are the values can be assigned to a data types. So that's what we have discussed. Now let me write something here and see which one is valid or which one is not valid, or like there anything that whatever you have learned and whatever we have discussed. So from there I'm going to write it. Okay. So here just, so let me try to write identifiers here. Identifiers. Okay. So I'm going to write something here. So you can just identify whether what it is. Okay. So now I'm just trying to write something. Okay. So this is, I'm going to ask later. So just let me write something and see what I'm trying to do it. The next one. Okay. Yeah, maybe if we have not discussed so far, that's fine. Okay, no. Sorry, not this one. Yeah, something like that. Like, so these are all like kind of identifiers for us. So let's see like what is your understanding, whatever we have discussed, and what we can say, like each one has its own significance, and we can say like its own identifier. Okay. So let's say like if you know the Java, so definitely if I give to someone who is, I mean, who is having some knowledge on Java, definitely they should be able to name it, what it is and how it is going to be. Okay. So maybe first I'm going to start with Bina. I think Bina has attended all these sessions. So any idea what is this test data? So what it is called?
It's variable.
So okay, it's a variable. Okay, fine. So the next one, like maybe what is this called? Maybe like Sai Priya. So what is this? The second one?
Function. No,
Okay.
fourth one is function. That can be constructor.
So this is a constructor. Okay. Okay, fine. So the third one, what it is? So maybe Navya, you can answer for this third one. So this one. Navya, like, are you there?
Yes, Venkat.
Yeah. So this one, like, what you can say, like this one.
Not sure, Venkat. Actually, I didn't. I mean, get back to all the topics. Right?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But one thing is like, yeah, you, yeah, every day try to spend some time so that like, so as we go on, this is we are in initial stage, right? Definitely, you will have a lot of confusion as we go on. So
Yeah.
this is the class basically. So class must start with caps letter and each word must be like a caps letter. So the next one, like what is the next one? Maybe Ramanji, like what is the next one? Hello.
It's a function.
Yeah, maybe if he is not available, yeah, you can say this is function. Then what is this? Yeah, anyone can answer this one. This one.
There's a function too.
Yeah,
This is also can be
a
considered function.
And this one, what is this?
Identity.
Block. No,
Sorry,
block.
Beena, you are telling something, but it's too low, your voice. Not sure why your voice is too low always. Maybe your speakers are not.
Yeah,
So,
I think
yeah, what it is? You said something.
a constant.
Yes, yeah, it's a constant. So when we
Constant,
see
right.
anything with upper cases, it's a constant. And this one, what is this one again here? So this is also same as this one. So this is also a constructor. Okay. So this is how, yeah, when we go on, like definitely when you see it, you will be able to identify it. But again, so when it comes to the pure classes, definitely it is not going to be like this. So these things are going to have like some head and tail. That means like, so let's say this is the public. Just I'm giving one example for now, void something test data. Okay. So here we have the test data. So before that, we have something like keywords, public, void, and then followed by also we might have like something like throws, some exception, something like that. So your keywords are like whatever identifiers, they are not going to be alone. They are going to be with combination of some modifiers. Okay, so that we are going to discuss what are the modifiers we can apply for each and every variable or function or constructor or like a function or whatever it is. Okay, so your functions or identifiers are not going to be alone. They are going to be with combination of something else. That we will see later. But when it comes to here, always identifiers are going to be like this, but they are not going to be alone. They are going to be with combination of some modifiers. Okay, that is one thing. Now coming to the keywords. So total keywords, you no need to like remember or like all these things you don't need to go through and you don't need to remember. But only thing is you have to keep in mind when it comes to all reserved keywords. Okay, these reserved keywords cannot be used for any other purpose. So that means what? Now let's say now this is int a equals to some 100. Okay, so here this is the data type. So that means int is part of the reserved keyword. Int is part of reserved keyword. Okay, so a is a variable. So a is not part of reserved keyword. It's a general normal, some declared value, and equals also not part of the reserved keyword. 100, this is the number that we have declared. Now let's say now I'm writing int. Okay, so here null equals to 100. Okay, so here if you see here, int is the data type, null is the variable, equals is the operator, 100 is the value that we have declared. But this null is part of the reserved keyword. So whenever you are using any variable names or function names, you should not use reserved keyword names. Okay, so reserved keywords are meant for something already, which is the scope for that reserved keywords already defined in Java. So you should not use explicitly other than their purpose. Okay, so here for example, let's say you are trying to use int one data type and variable name. Variable name you are trying to declare public. Okay, so this public keyword or reserved keyword already defined in the Java for some other purpose. Now you cannot use this reserved keyword for some other purpose. So here the purpose is this is the variable. Variable must or should not match with the reserved keyword. Not only this one, let's say if you are trying to declare the function with some, let me just go to the things, keywords that we have declared here. So here we have so many keywords are the public, private. So let's say now you are trying to declare something called the protected function like this. So when you are trying to declare whatever reserved keywords are available in Java, so Java is not going to accept, though it is accepting in some cases, that is not the good practice. So always try to avoid reserved keywords for declaring user-defined variables or functions or classes or constructors or whatever it is. Okay, the keywords are meant for some purpose. We have to use for only that purpose. Okay, so that always you have to keep in mind. The next one. So when it comes to the next topic again, so the data types. So here, maybe let me just go back here. So we have total 8 keywords. Yesterday, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, we have been discussing about these keywords. So now let me ask few questions here. So these are all 8 keywords. So in which, what are the numeric keywords? Can anyone tell? So out of 8, how many data types are the numeric data types?
6.
Okay, 6 are the numeric data types. So they are going to hold only numbers. Numbers means it can be whole number or the decimal numbers. Okay, so in which again we have 2 types. One is the integral data types and another one is the float point data types. So here again integral data types are 4. So they are going to hold only whole numbers. That means like round number like 101, 102, like 100, 140, 141. So remaining float point data types, they are going to hold decimal values like 0.00 or 0.23, something like that, 0.44, something like that. Okay. So remaining 2 are non-numeric and Boolean is meant for accepting either true or false, either true or false. Okay. Char is meant for to hold numbers from 0 to 62,000 something, and then some A to Z and then A to Z. So it can hold, when it comes to the characters, it can hold only one character. So in single quotes, that means A like this, or A like this, or some B like this, or Z, something like this. Okay. And also when it comes to 0 to 65,000, each number has its own symbol internally for character. So when it comes to this one, cats, let's say you are trying to declare, char C equals to 10,000. So this is not going to represent 10,000 explicitly. It is going to represent, instead of 10,000, it is going to represent some sign, something like this. But this is not the exact one, just I'm trying to give you. Okay. So for each and everything, it will have its own symbol internally. So basically, most of the cases for hardware purpose, so keyboards like designing keyboards, they are going to use this technology mode, basically, most of the cases. Okay, and also this has a inter or like link between this one and string. When it comes to the string, definitely we are going to discuss again about the char. So here again, like, so when it comes to like caps A represents 65 something. Okay. So when it comes to A, small a, it is going to represent some 97, something like that. So we are going to talk about this conversion also. Why? Because when you are trying to write a programs, definitely you need to know this conversion, that number conversion, how it happens, all these things. Okay. So for now, char we are not going to discuss in detail, but when it comes to string, we are going to discuss somewhat, some extent. Okay. Now I'm going to go back. So the next topic. So here, so we have discussed about these literals and all. So how values can be assigned, all these things. Okay, on top of it, I'm going to give like some small thing about the string, but string we are going to spend like around 2 to 3 sessions. For now, string, whenever you are trying to hold some value with words or characters, that means more than one character. Let's say you are trying to describe about one of the objects. Let's say we're trying to describe about the vehicle. Okay, so vehicle wheels we can represent in the form of integer. So int 2, int wheels equals to 2, right? Weight you can define in the form of the double. Okay, some weight equals to some 150.5 kgs, something like that. So when it comes to color, how are you going to represent? Let's say it's a red color. So in out of 8 data types, is there any data type that can hold this format? Color red. We cannot hold using our regular data types. So we have a one data type that can hold that can hold only one character, that is the char. But here we have more than one character. So definitely whenever you are trying to hold the data in the string format in the sense it's a word format. Okay, this word can be anything, like it can be like combination of red -2, but if you mention the quotes, it's going to be in the form of the string. To hold the values which are in the combination of both numbers and characters, definitely we need to have another data type called the string. Basically, string is not a data type. String is a final class in Java. So this is the big topic in Java, but we are going to cover some extent. Why? Because when you go to the big companies or when you like some mid-sized companies also, you are going to get more questions on the string only, even for interview, coding, all these things. Okay, but we are going to discuss some extent when it comes to the string concept. Okay, now let me just go here and then try to assign something here for string. Okay, string, string color COL equals to, always string must be represented in the double quotes. Okay, right. Okay, so and string. Okay, and you can say like something name. Okay, equals to some Honda Civic, something like this. Civic. Okay, so you can represent the group of words are like more than one letter, or like the combination of letters, and then maybe you can just string vehicle name. Okay, okay, so something like the Pulsar 150, something like that. So you can represent like this. So this whole thing is considered as a one string. Okay, one string, and wherever you want, we can represent this variable name. So this is how we are going to assign. But string is the biggest. I mean, like there are so many things to be discussed. But yeah, we'll discuss like whatever we needed for our automation. Okay. Now, so this is about the literals. Now, the next topic is the types of variable. This is very important. Why? Because if we don't know how to declare variables, it will be a big mess when you are trying to write code in your project. Okay, so types of variable is very important. Why? Because so without a variable, you cannot even have a single class file, you cannot write it. Even single piece of code you cannot have it. Okay, so here we know how to hold your variables using data types. So total 8 data types are there. On top of it, one more data type, which is string. Basically it's not a data type, it's a class. For now, just assume that string also a data type which can hold a combination of characters and letters, sorry, numbers or words or a sentence, big sentences. Okay,
Where should I put it? I should put in literals, or it's data types, or it's what exactly? The string.
okay,
Where should I
okay,
put that
string
particular?
actually it is not a data type. Okay, so string is the final class which is available in Java. So string, whatever we are seeing here, right? The string objects we are creating and we are assigning values. So string basically it's a class. So to assign a value to a string, we have to create an object. So this is an object to hold this value.
So
Okay.
basically, it's a part of class. I mean, the variables, or sorry,
Beena, your voice is sometimes it's coming all the way up, and sometimes we are not able to hear anything.
So
Yeah, maybe you can do one thing. So you can connect through mobile also. So you can mute your laptop and you can just talk on mobile, yeah, if possible.
okay, I will do that.
Yeah, so that like, yeah, it would be okay. So now, so here when it comes to the types of variables, okay, I'm going to create one more class for types of variables. Types of variables. Okay, just you have to have the better understanding to declare your variables. Definitely. Okay. Now let me talk theoretically, and then we'll see the practically. Okay. Types of variables. Okay. How many types of variables are there? So we know how to hold a value. So whenever you are trying to hold a value, you need to declare a variable by using data type and string class. Okay. So this one, how many types and where and all we are going to declare your variables and how it is being used. Okay. So here there are total three data types. Three variables, three types of variables. What are those? It's very, very important. Okay. So one is the instance variable. Second one is the static variable. Third one is the local variable. Okay. So here you need to have a better understanding about these variables. Definitely, without knowing this one, you cannot just like that declare whatever variable you want and use it. Okay. So now if you notice here, we have total three types of variables. One is instance variable, second one static, and third one is the local. Okay. Now, so here let's talk about the instance variable first. Okay. So what is instance variable? Why it is called as an instance variable or object related variable or global level variable, global level instance variable. Okay. So our Java program is object oriented program. So Java program is object oriented program. So here just keep in mind, you may not be able to understand 100% here as we go on. Once we reach to this topic, you will have clear clarity on the instance. What is instance? Okay. So here, since I just wanted to cover this one as part of the fundamentals, as we go on, we are going to use these variables in each and every class file. So now once you reach up to this level, then you will have 100% clarity on the instance variable. But for now, see what it is and what it does and where we are going to use this instance variable. Because now you don't know what is an object, how you don't know how to initialize an object, you don't know how to assign a values to an object. Okay. So here when it comes to instance variable, also called as object related variable. Why it is called an object related variable or instance? Okay. Java is 100% object oriented program. Not 100%, basically it's almost 99% it's a object oriented program, but there are some cases where we cannot achieve some of the features of Java. So that's why Java is not 100% object oriented program. Okay. So here, whenever you are trying to assign a values for an object, to initialize values for an object, definitely you need to have an instance variable. For now, don't worry what is an object, how we are going to initialize all these things. But for now, we'll see what is instance variable and where and all we can declare it and use it. But later, when it comes to OOPS programming, I am going to combine and I'm going to make it relationship between your instance variable and your objects. Okay. Now, instance variable can be created at class level. Okay, keep in mind, instance variable can be created at class level. Okay, so that means what? So here, if you notice here, this is the class. Class means it's the one block is there, right? So when I just highlight here, so it is pointing it between two curly braces, two open closed curly braces. Okay, in between, if you are declaring anywhere, it is called as an instance variable. It's called as an instance variable. Now let me declare something here. So int a equal to 0. Okay, int, okay, b equals to some 20. Okay, and then byte b equals to some 50, some value I'm declaring. So here variables should not be duplicated. Okay, always variables must be unique. Okay, so here I'm just trying to create something byte. Okay, something I'm okay. The name can be anything, but make sure you are declaring with meaningful name. Okay, now so I'm trying to declare short some s equal to so 0. Okay, now again I'm trying to declare int c equal to, I have not given anything. Okay, now next one, what else we have? Into short long. Okay, long l equals to, so here I'm trying to give some 3000. Okay, so again like float f equals to 10.34 f. Okay, and then last one is the double, right? Double d equals to some value 45.78. Okay, so boolean b equals to something. Okay, I'm not declaring anything here. Again boolean something equals to, okay, is a boolean something I'm giving. Okay, equals to false. Okay, now that char c equals to char character c equals to, okay, some giving some r. Okay, now what else value we can give? Char ch, nothing. So here if you notice here, if you are declaring a variable, at class level, we'll see like where and all we can declare other variables also. If you are declaring variable at class level, that is called instance variable. Okay, and here if you notice here, these are all left side. If you notice here, this is the data type. Okay, so everything is the data type: int, byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, something. So for some of them I have initialized values, for some of them I have not initialized values. So initializing means literals I have assigned here: int a 100, int b 20, int by 50. This one short as 0. See, I have not assigned anything. Okay, and the long I have assigned something. So here for instance variable, you no need to assign a value, or you no need to initialize a value. Okay, so if you don't initialize value, what will happen? What is the value of this? So now let me do one thing. So let me create one main method to execute it. Okay, public static void main. Okay, so this is a static, basically string args test. Okay, that's it. Now if you notice here, so for int c I have not given any value. Okay, so what it is going to be, let me print that one and see. Okay, so for now I am assigning static, but I should not do that one. But why I am assigning static, I'll discuss later. Okay, I just wanted to print the value of c here. Okay, system dot out dot println. Okay, the value of c is something. Okay, plus equals to c. Okay, so here whenever we are declaring a value without assigning any value, whenever we are declaring a variable without assigning any value, is going to give, let me run and see what is going to happen. Okay, so value is giving 0 here. So here I have not given anything here, but still it is going to give some value. So who is responsible person to provide the value? JVM, Java Virtual Machine, is responsible to give some value. It's the default values. So for each and every data type, we have the default values. If we don't assign any value, so there will be some default value. Your JVM is going to provide the default value. Okay. So here for integer, let me write the default values. Okay. So for byte, default value is the 0. For short, all integral data types, default value are 0. Short, int, long. For each and everything, default value is the 0. Okay. Now float points. For float and double, default values are 0.0, 0.0. For Boolean, default value is false. If you don't assign any value, it is going to be false for you. Okay. And then character, if you don't assign anything, the space is the default value for char, space. So space in the sense, so when you enter enter button, like in your space in keyboard, like you have the space keyboard, right? When you hit space keyword, it is going to give some space. So it is going to have the space if you don't mention anything. Okay. So here, only thing is, so instance variable can be declared at the class level. Okay. So when we, so sorry, you can declare at the class level. So those variables are called instance variable. Okay. So instance variables, you no need to initialize it. If you don't initialize it, your JVM is going to initialize with the default values. I'm going to initialize with the default values. Okay, default values we have seen, like what are the default values for each and every data type. But string we have not seen. When it comes to string, we are going to see. For string, default value is the null, that we'll see later. That is completely different story. Okay, so here now these are all at class level. So these variables can be used across in your class. So we have a number of members here, like constructors. Okay, and then functions, blocks, and what else we have? Constructions, functions, blocks. Yeah, these three places you can use these things. That means, now let me write on simple constructor here. Okay. Now constructor starts with the class name, types of variables. Okay, close, and this is the constructor. So here you can directly use a. So directly I can just print value a, system dot out dot println. Okay, a. So this a is referring from where? When I highlight here, see here, this is one, this one. So both are highlighting in the dark blue color, this one and this one. Okay. So let's say if I use this one, is Boolean here. See, this is going to be highlighted. So that means instance variable you can use from any class members. Class members are constructors, functions, blocks. So blocks, how are we going to declare? So this is going to be a block, simple block, and this is another block. Okay. So there are two types of block. Don't worry, for now I'm going to discuss later. Okay. For now I don't want to confuse with that one. So 1 minute, let me just remove this one. Okay. Now the thing is, there are some other rules. Just we follow here. Now this is the instance variable. How do we know whether it is an instance variable or not? It's very simple. If you have a variable which is declared with any data type, okay, without static keyword is called an instance variable. Okay, so your variable should not have a keyword called static. So when your variable is having static, that is whole different story again. Okay, make sure your variable is not having static is called instance variable. Okay, so this instance variable can only be accessed from instance area only. So what is instance area here? Okay, so here if you notice here, this C, I made it as a static. So this is the static function. Okay, so instance variables cannot be accessed from static area. That you have to keep in mind. Instance variables cannot be accessed from static area. Instance variable can only be accessed from can only be accessed from instance area only. What is instance area? So here, let's say you can have a function. So public void function 1. So here, this is the instance function. Okay, so generally what are the members that we are going to have? Constructors and functions and blocks. Okay, constructions, there is a big story that we are going to discuss. Constructors always talk about instance only. Constructor 100% instance only. There is no static concept for the constructors that we are going to talk in the OOPS concept. Okay, functions, we can have static, non-static function. Non-static function is nothing but the instance function. Okay, non-static function is nothing but the instance function. So when you have a function without static, so you can access all the instance variables from this instance function. Okay, so you cannot access instance variable from non-static. Sorry, again it's confusing. You can access only from the non-static area. So these are all the non-static members. Non-static members are nothing but instance variables or instance members. Okay, these members can only be accessed from the non-static area. That means instance area. That means instance function or instance block. Instance block, how are we going to declare? Simple, open, closed, curly braces. So from here also you can access the. So here, let me access this one. See here it is highlighting. So this is how we are going to access your instance variable. So the rules for one. Instance variable need not to be initialized. That is the rule one. Need not to be initialized. Second one, instance variable can only be accessed from instance area. Okay. Third one, instance numbers cannot be accessed from static area. So it can be only accessed from instance area. You cannot access from the static area. What is static area? We are going to discuss as part of the static variables. Okay. The fourth one. Okay. Your instance variables can be accessed from object. This one we have not discussed. We will discuss later. This is the fourth rule. Instance variable can be accessed from your object. Okay, so this topic, yeah, we are not going to discuss now. We'll discuss, but keep in mind this is the fourth rule. And what else we have? Yeah, I think these are the 4 rules we have to keep in mind. Only thing is you don't need to initialize. If you don't initialize, your JVM is responsible person to initialize with the default values. Already we have seen what are the default values. Second one, you can access only from the instance area. You cannot access from the you cannot access from the static area. So this can be used or called from your object only. So what does this mean? You don't need to worry when it comes to object discussion, we are going to discuss. Okay, so up to here, any questions here about the instance variable? Instance variable always must be declared at the class level, and it can be accessed only from the instance area. and we cannot access these variables from static area. These variables can call using your current class object. That fourth part we'll discuss later. Just keep in mind, we are going to discuss later that part. Okay, so any questions up to here? I'm going to move to the static variable. So any questions here? I hope you are clear. Okay, and also if you have any questions, ask, because there will be a number of things going to come in the future classes and all. Definitely you will have doubt. So you should have one common question. When are we going to declare this one? What if I don't declare this one? So definitely you should get that question. So I'm telling, like, there are total 3. Okay, so one of them is the instance. What if I don't declare this one? Or when are we going to declare this one? What is the use of this one? So I'm telling, this instance variable cannot be accessed from the static area. So then what is the use of this one? When are we going to declare this one? Okay, so here I'm going to talk about one point, and then complete details we are going to talk about in the OOPS concept, but keep in mind. So when we'll go for the instance variable, first our question. Okay, so definitely if you think that this value is going to be changed for your object, so let's say this value is going to be vary from one object to another object, one object to another object. For example, let me give so that you'll understand clearly. Okay, let me spend for 5 minutes, you'll understand very clearly. Now I have a class is called vehicle. This is the vehicle class. Okay, this vehicle class is going to have color. Okay, string format I'm giving, string color. Okay, and then wheels, int wheel number. Okay, and then int maybe I can have something else, color wheels. 1 minute, let me take something called double. Okay, weight, something like that. Okay, so here empty values are given. Okay, now this is the vehicle class. Okay, I'm going to apply this vehicle class for my vehicles. So vehicles means what? I can have two-wheeler. That means let just assume that bike here. Okay, motorbike, and then a car. Okay, car is also vehicle, bike is also vehicle. Okay, bus is also vehicle. Okay, and then some other like truck also vehicle. So here, so these are the common variables that I am declaring for my vehicle class. Common variables that I am declaring for my vehicle class. Okay, so these are the common things each and every vehicle is going to have. Irrespective of what kind of vehicle, it doesn't matter for us. Okay, now this variable I'm going to apply for here, bike. So when I apply bike, the color can be anything like black. Okay, just assume that this is one object. Bike is one object I am creating or producing from my vehicle class. Okay, now car. So same variable I am using here, color is red. What is happening here? The variable value is getting changed. That means one object to another object, the value of this color is getting changed. Now bus, just assume that for bus I am giving yellow, for example. Okay, truck I am giving white color. Okay, so here only one variable, but what is happening here? the value of variable is being changed from one object to another object. So here, if you fix it, you cannot change it. Fix it, you will change it, that is different story. But we are not going to fix it. Most of the cases, instance variable are not going to be initialized. But in some cases, we will be initializing, but most of the cases, we are not going to initialize. Why? Because if you are declaring as an instance variable, the value of instance variable is going to be changed from one object to another object. In that case only, you have to declare that variable as instance variable. Otherwise, there is a different approach we will see. Okay, if your value is going to be changed from one object to another object, that variable must be instance variable. So instance is nothing but an object. Instance synonym is an object. Okay, so instance variable is going to directly relate to an object. If value of instance variables keep changing, then we have to declare as an instance variable. Okay, that is the purpose. So here, wheel number. So bike will have two-wheeler, something. Car we might be having some 4 or 6, or depends on your vehicle. Bus we might be having some 6 vehicles. Truck we might be having 8 vehicles or 8 wheelers. It depends on the object that you are going to produce from your class. Okay, and also weight. So here, always, if you are trying to declare something, you no need to initialize it. So when you are trying to assign this value to a particular object, that time we are going to initialize it. Okay, now just take a look here. I'm going to show you something. Okay, 1 minute. Let me just remove these two for example. Okay, remove B and A. Okay, now these are the default values. I have not created. Now I'm going to create an object and see how the values I can assign it. Okay, now, so don't worry what is an object, how we are going to create. So we are going to discuss later. Now, for example, I'm showing types of variables equals to new types of variables. Okay, now types of variables dot. So now I'm going to call whatever the variable using object. I can call my instance variable A. Okay, dot A equals to some 100. Okay, now types of variables dot B equals to, so is what is this one? It's the B right? Equals to some 200. So here, let me see why it is throwing error dot. So this is not the class, this is not the variable, this is the variable dot B. Okay, so I'm assigning 200. Now the value of A and B, you can print. If you print, it is going to be, let me just print it, system dot out dot println. Okay, value of A is plus 20. Sorry, yeah. Okay, so now again same thing. Okay, B. So I can directly print this one here, A, and then I can directly print B. So when I run this one, what it is going to happen? Let's see B. Okay, now let me run this one. So this is how we are going to initialize values in the runtime. So value of A equal to B, value of, now let me create another object and assign what it is. Okay, now this is for this object, type variable one. Now let me create one more object, types of variables 1 equals to new types of variables. Okay, now let me print the same thing. 1 minute. Types of variables 1 dot A equals to, now this time 150. Okay, now types of variables 1 dot B equals to 250. Okay, see now here. Okay, so let me just print one more time here. Okay, types of variable B, this one, right? For this object and this object, let's see how it is going to do it. Now let me just have one more line here. for differentiation. Okay. Okay, now let me run this one. Okay, so if you notice here, the value of this one 100, here 150. So here object to object it is varying. So for this object, A value is 100. For this object, A value is 150. For this object, B value is 200. For this object, B value is 250. So it depends on your requirement. You can initialize the value in the runtime. Okay. So always, if you notice here, you no need to initialize your instance variable. Instance variables are meant for an object. If your value for an object is going to be changed for each and every object, definitely you have to go for instance variable. This is very, very important. Even interviews also, they will ask this question. So when are you going to declare instance variable? What is the usage? What is the importance of the instance variable? You can say if value of an object is keep changing one object to another object, definitely you can go for instance variable. Okay, so that is how we are going to declare and we are going to use instance variables. Okay, the next one is another one also. It's very, very popular and very, very useful. We are going to see. Now let's discuss about this one theoretically just for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to stop for tomorrow today, and we'll discuss practical for local and static tomorrow. Now instance variable, what we have discussed. So if an object, value an object, one object to another object, if it is changing, the value of variable is changing from object one to object. That means one object to another object, then you can go for instance variable. So how we can identify instance variable? A variable which doesn't have any static keyword here. So by default, we can say that it is an instance variable, and instance variable can be only accessed from instance area. So you cannot directly access from the static area. So if you wanted to access from the static area, so we have to create an object, and using an object, you have to call that variable. So this is the static area. So we cannot directly access variables. Why? Because this see here, I made it as the static somewhere here, where it is static. Yeah, here. Right. So that's why I'm able to call directly. Otherwise, let me remove the static here. See, it is going to throw an error. So non-static cannot be referenced directly from static area. So that's how we are going to get an error. Okay. Now to access those things, you have to create an object. And using an object, you have to call those variables to access from the static area. Now coming to the static area, we'll just spend few minutes. What is static area? What is static mode, first of all? So static variable, also called as the class variable. Static variable also called as the static variable, class variable. Instance variable also called as object variable. Okay, so here what we are doing, so static variable also called as the class property or class variable. So that means using class, you can call that object, but we'll see that one later. But when are we going to declare this class object? When are we going to declare this static object? I mean, static variable or class level variable. Class level variable is nothing but the static variable only. Okay, or class property. We call it as the static variable. Okay, so these static variables, when are we going to create? Now let me show you an example so that you can just tomorrow you can explore more and you can come back, we can discuss. Okay, now let's say there is a college. Okay, college class. This is the college class. Okay, class college. We have college class. Okay, 1 minute. Class something. Sorry, college, for example. Okay, so here let's say string name of college. Okay, now, okay, this is one variable I have declared, for example. Now, another one is the int student roll number, for example. Okay, roll number I'm declaring. Okay, int or string student name. Okay, student name. Okay, these three variables I'm declaring. Just assume that which one is dynamic here, which one is static here. It's very simple. College name, always only one thing. You don't need to say again and again. For each and every student, you can't, you don't need to say, hey, this student name is XYZ and he is studying in this college. And again, when it comes to Beena, her name is Beena, she is studying in XYZ college. And then Navya, her name is Navya and she is studying. You don't need to tell the college name. If you are studying in that college is the college name is applicable for all the students. But here, when it comes to here, string name of the college, just assume that some university, Nagarjuna University or some Osmania University. Okay, Osmania University is common for each and every object. It doesn't matter what object it is. But student roll number is going to be common? Definitely not. This is going to be vary one object to another object. Okay, one object to another object. So here, let's say for Beena, if you have 1, and Navya, she is going to be 1. Ramanji is going to be 3. And then Sai Priya, she is going to be 4. Definitely, the value of roll number is going to be changed. And the student name also is going to be changed. Though there would be unique, but always there should be some difference. Definitely, we are going to change. So here, when it comes to these kind of variables, which one is instance and which one is the static? Static. Here, name of the college is the static. That means a variable which is going to be shared by all the objects. So here, this name of the college is not going to be vary from one object to another object. This is going to be shared by all the objects. That means it's a common variable for all the objects. Got it, right? So if you are going to share a variable between or among all the objects, then you have to go for the static variable. Okay, so this static variable completely is related to class property. So how we can define? You have to mention the static. That's it. When you make it the static, this is the static. You know, right? What is the static and dynamic? Dynamic is keep changing. Static means it's a fixed. It is not going to change. That means once you assign a value, it is going to be fixed, and you can call this one by using class name. And you can apply this variable for each and every object that is going to be produced from your class. Okay, class college. This is how we are, but we are going to see there are some rules we have to keep in mind while discussing, while using everything. Okay, so I'm going to stop it for now. So if you have any questions so far, whatever we have discussed, now we can talk. Okay. Tomorrow I'm going to cover these types of variable completely. Okay, and then I'll start with arrays. But yeah, types of variables. Yeah, we are going to spend again like tomorrow 40-45 minutes. Once after completing, now we are going to come to the arrays. So arrays onwards is the pure coding, and you have to apply your logics, everything. We have to see it. Okay. So now I'm stopping. So any questions here? And also how comfortable you are, like, so whatever I'm giving, like if you need more examples, so let me know so that we can talk some more examples for your better understanding. Okay. So are you okay? Like, can we stop the class? So any questions? Yeah. Okay, I'm just stopping for now. Yeah, we'll see tomorrow.